7 noisy longsword. Yeah, that one. Not the that's another one we do need to fix up, I think. It's not as bad as Mesa Variability was, but it's a bad weapon. So I guess it probably is about as bad. Mesa Variability. Well, it's not a launcher, so I don't think it's going to compete with Zephyr Bow anytime soon. Tension. Yes, that's true, but although the mace doesn't have any interaction with tension, it's just chaos plus arcs of chaos. Yeah, that was not one of Aronarn's successful species. Octopodes were pretty successful. Oh, it does. I freaking had no idea. The damage that it does, I guess the damage actually has been buffed and it's still quite bad. I think I heard Minmay say that one time. Like, it used to be even worse. But it's a weapon that has no ego, that doesn't even have full enchantment, and that has additional damage that is not very good with a drawback. Mostly concerned about getting paralyzed. Looks like I miscasted Blade's Hands and I didn't even pay attention. He's just a simple necromancer who loves his kitty. Yep, that's one of the new splash images. That image is somewhat older, but it's the Korean artist made that probably a couple years ago. I'm not sure how old it is. Well played. What did you confuse me with? Ah, what does that mean for your spells, by the way? Alright, well, we can deal with that. A rich. Me just going invis. Playable Spark Wasp. Would that be the thing to lure Grunt back into Crawl? It's like they made a species of one of my monster designs. I'm back. Yep. We'll pull out all the stops. Some unran glasses that like you wear them in some way. They're XP gated glasses. You don't wear them normally, but you put them on. They don't take a slot, and it like does the glasses. You know, it says like the pithy glasses, a pithy line, and then it shows the glasses Unicode, and then you get quad damage. Basically quad damage gated by XP. Kilobyte would also approve. I forget who it was who told me that story about. Told a story about how Kilobyte, when I guess quad damage, not long after it got made for the sprint, I forget which sprint it's in, he enabled it as like a type of. He enabled it in evocations, and I forget how you could get it, but his idea was that evocations needed spicing up, so for a while you could get the quad damage evocable in Trunk. I'm not sure like what its rarity was it, or if it was like single use, or exactly how it worked. Misc acquire quad damage. Was that the only way to get it, was through requirement? I could kind of see that. Food shop, big. Where's Hellmonk? That was the only one. Oh, that kind of makes sense, I guess. He wanted to spice up Misc. Wow, we got 8 throwing. Guess we have enough throwing, don't we? I gotta use my let's get 10, and we need to get more fighting eventually, but the cost of armor is still pretty cheap, so 10 throwing can do for now. Yep, I went the boring way with this one. I was like talking about doing statue form, and then I kind of looked at the fact that I had all these enchant armor, and I had gotten swamp. I was like, you know what? I could just be lazy. Oh, it was a shapeshifter. Oh god. How would you get them with Nemel? Oh, just like from the acquirements that you would get for Nemelex? Statue form before. Yeah, I didn't want to go statue form, honestly. But I was sort of giving it a shot. I even got to the point where I trained 8 Earth, because I was still using Ice Form and Snake, and it's still honestly doing really good damage, and it was fine, but it becomes a little bit of a hassle at some point. I mean, I could have kept going with it, but I was still using it until relatively recently, but eventually I just got a little bit lazy, I guess, since it allows me to speed up the playing the game. But it absolutely was doing very well all through like layer, and really through the first 3 levels of both layer branches. Yeah, that's what I was remembering. I remember getting genie cards quite a bit. I also remember when that got finally removed. Rip Wizard. Lull. Oh, this is an interesting little configuration we got going on here. The hell? Oh, they were. I didn't even check. That's how lazy I was. Okay, well, that's on me, I guess. Potion of haste, what I like to see. We get the para? No, not this time. Oops. Oh crap! I didn't want to do that. Oh, don't tell me I put. Okay, good. Thought I miskeyed and like took off my faith amulet. Yeah, the thing is, like, statue form is just, it's bad in so many kinds of characters. On the really strongest, like, well, just say that I was using statue on my last OPAC and I really wish that I wasn't. And that's sort of a kind of character that would actually more want it than many. Yeah, why don't you catch me outside? Just like that one girl who got YouTube famous and got her own music video. That meme was like, was that even 2 years ago? I feel like it was. It's not even that old. Still haven't used these large rocks. No. Wait, what is this guy? Wow, I'm surprised that took so many shots. Was Jazz Jackrabbit, Minmay's favorite platformer. Evil Mike made like custom levels for that are apparently really good. Minmay requested, when I was asking for sub-special ideas, Minmay requested that I play those, even though I've literally never played that game and would be terrible at it, and would especially be terrible at super hard challenge levels. Yeah, I should try it sometime. I've heard a lot of people say it's really good. Crawl 4.1. I just need to see Mikey post a winning game log. So I can see his strats. I can watch the TTY rec and learn his strats. Or he can post a guide. He can post a guide to that famous IHateTheDevs.com, IHateTheCrawlDevs.com website on his 4.1 strats, and I can learn all the secrets. It'll have like 3 paragraphs about monsters with shields. Like beating Alley Cat 20 times in a row. Yeah, I remember the speedrun. That game is really cool. I saw it and I was like, huh, this is it's interesting, those really early PC games and like Atari games, how just creative they could be with the concept of a game. You know, these days a lot of things which would be done in so much more of a straightforward way, but they really they had a different idea of what constituted a computer game, certainly. They were just sort of making up a lot of it. And I guess it was also a lot less sort of like corporate, and there weren't big video game companies. Even the relatively larger ones were just like, you know, they weren't even dedicated to making video games. They would be like some software publisher that would make some video games. And so they had smaller teams and stuff. One Must Fall. I've not heard of that one. That's on my list, but the streams have slowed down. We're not even at 700 followers. I have to stream more regularly so that I can even get to 700. I was looking at something. Oh, Brand, right? Yeah. Oh, can't recast. Oh, you would do that. Uh-oh. Got some nasty mobs here. Want to make a major servant? Sure, why not? Get rid of you. There we go. Wow, does that wizard not see invis? There we go. Go to town, demons. Oh no, Blizzard Demon, no! Lamp of Fire. Time to do your magic. Some lesser servants going on. Yep, go ahead, walk into that fire cloud, why don't you? Oh, I guess I should, oh, I can't, I probably can't throw rocks in blade hands. Yeah. Well, that's a thing I had not quite considered, but still. This guy's just gonna keep poking me. Or throwing stuff at me, I guess. Oh yeah. You're kind of a sucker for summons sometimes, so you'll see me find ways to justify using them. Where did I get RC from all of a sudden? Oh, C and Viz ring. Okay. Oh yeah. Handled it. Sounds like statue form. Go statue form for the throwing large rock play. Now I can still use large rocks. I have to remember not to be in Fire Giant Simulacrum. It's pretty flavorful. God damn. Wow. That's interesting. Uh-oh, lag again. I feel like we got a lot of shops this game. Holy moly, look at that. That is all the heal wounds. More haste. Mutation. Maybe it is truly time for the mutation roulette. I can see if I get a game-ending mutation. I don't like being slow. Is this guy summoned? No. Get wrecked, son. A dumb name for a dumb practice. So if it had a name like from some like pumpin', is there a name for like when you do like a crazy chaotic play in basketball? A pump and shuffle. If I called it a pump and shuffle, it would be all right. But mutation roulette is too cheesy. Imagine a statue throwing its blade hands at enemies. That would be some massive damage. You know that those names all kind of sound like innuendo to me, but I figure they're well established. Definitely gonna go for like 18 fighting now. Let's see, for those who wonder like what you skill, so I'm skilling fighting right now because you can see I might like to have more AC for armor. Eventually I'd probably like to have maybe around 15 or so, just for to the point where the cost isn't overwhelming. But I'm choosing fighting right now because the cost is lower, so I'll get more fighting levels for cheap and more HP, which is, you know, like getting more AC. Eventually I'll have to return to things like maybe a little bit of training in some of the other ones like translocations. I'll probably have to get a bit more spell casting. Mutation Euro step. I like drift, the mutation drift. It's kind of like Tokyo drift. Mutation roulette : genetic drift. With EB gone from IRC and Mikey not around, all the NBA chat from the IRC NBA chat culture is dying. My Balrog. Oh, well, there he goes. Oh, oops. Thank you for the follow, Big Fat Dude 1. Welcome to the stream. The Stone Giants were equivalent to a Contra boss. That's why the theme was playing right there. You may think it was random, but it was carefully chosen. Little known fact, the Energy Zone boss from Contra is affectionately referred to as JJ by Contra speedrunners because he likes to jump so much and ruin their speedrun time that they started calling him Jumping Jackass, and eventually they shortened it to JJ. Oh, you and your mark. Oh, you. Two of them. What? Oh, look at that para. Yeah, by the way, people who talk a lot about para, that's one thing about paralysis. You can get in situations where, like, my character is abysmal MR and my chance to resist para is not good. But typically paralysis will hit you at edge of los like that or far away if you're moving, you know, carefully in the game and just using auto explore normally. And the monsters And monsters will close in on you, but they're going to lose a lot of turns because they have to get within either adjacent to you or within range. So that takes a lot of the bite out of paralysis. Of course, you can still like turn around a corner and get paralyzed, and potentially you can have situations that are quote unquote unwinnable. But and yeah, paralysis is worse for you, tends to be worse the lower your defenses, the lower your, I would say your AC is certainly, the lower your HP is. It's pretty bad for octopodes, like Mikey said, because they're based on EV and SH, and paralysis does set your EV to 0, I believe, doesn't it? Or is that just SH? Man, I even forget. Highly complete list of monsters. Good. I know it does set your SH to 0, doesn't it? I honestly forget off the top of my head. But in all my, you know, nearly 100 wins of crawl, yeah, I just give a bonus or a malice to it. Sarsanovi discovered the bot. Poggers. See, Mikey, Poggers is an emote. It's a frog who's surprised and happy. All you have to do, Mikey, is learn what all the little faces mean, and then you'll know what the lingo is. Once you know what all the emotes mean and what all the faces are for, then it's like you're part of the culture now. Dog face cappuccino. Jeepicus isn't here anymore. He could be a great teacher and guide. Man, all the shops. Too bad I don't need weapons. No, I never read that book. I guess the movie was the first thing I saw, and it kind of turned me off from reading the book because, well, that movie is quite something. So I don't actually fully know all the plot and all the plot details. Oh boy. Good large rocks to the face there. Some evokers that I probably... Yeah, it is kind of like that, really. I mean, the Clockwork Orange makes it so insidious because of like who the I mean, they're not really the protagonists, but you know, the Droogs or whatever those guys are called are like the focus of the book. Online communication is pretty weird when you think about it. I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm finding the best downward staircase. I don't think it actually matters that much.